I just feel this analogy really encompasses what we go through in this human show, this human game that we're in. That there must be a writer who's created these characters, and then all these different chapters of what we're supposed to go through, and then they're achieve and everything, who we're supposed to meet, and but the characters in the book, they don't know it. Like they don't, unless the writer writes it. Actually, you can call that's part of the awakening. But the writer also wrote that. You didn't do it. You didn't. Like there's no you apart from the creator. He wrote all this in there. So discovering that, yeah, that's a good definition of what it means to be awakening to your true nature. You're awakening to the cosmic screenwriters, to him, to it. You're awakening to that. You're like, whoa, okay, I'm like a puppet, and I'm being pulled here and pulled here, right? This is when we start listening to. This is the definition of when I say, how is the life force moving you? You know, like okay, go in there, and intuition. You're starting to wake up to the fact that there's not an individual autonomous you. There's a strong appearance that there is. Can't deny that. Otherwise, it's imbalanced, and then you become a non-dual oak. So you recognize both. That there's a source, and that's the main point. That's forever and eternal and formless, and it doesn't change. But then it creates these characters that are very changeful and subject to the laws that it created: law of karma, law of evolution, law of decay, law of impermanence, all these laws. And something starts to get hip to that. But that's only because that was also written in the script. At first, it's written that we're not aware of it. That's why I don't get mad at the people who aren't aware of it. They're not supposed to be like, what do you mean? They're playing their part. If somebody was in a theater play and they're playing their part, you're not going to get mad and ask them, why don't they play this other person's part? No, this is their part. It doesn't matter that they don't know they're playing the part. They're not supposed to know. That's the part of the part. They don't know that they're playing the part. See? So let them play the part. And then you play your part. But know that you're playing the part. That's the other thing. I made a video and I ended up deleting it because it was too old or something. I had forgot to put it up, and it didn't make sense because I was talking about a satsang or something. And but it was like the awakening software is the final program that God installs or something. And I was talking about that, how the ego don't want to take credit for the sleep, the being asleep and delusion and defects of character and, you know, and all that, trying to please your senses. But then when the awakening software gets activated, the ego wants to take credit for it. It comes back in, right? First, the ego says, okay, you've got me, you found me out. I realized like this is all delusion, and yeah, it's all ego. It's the ego saying it though. So then when your spiritual sanskaras or tendencies start to get activated, then the ego wants to come back in and says, okay, yeah, good. Now this is your spiritual nature. Nice. It's still the ego saying it. So you have to, but you can't help it. That's part of the deal too, right? I forgot, because I was supposed to forget that that's in the script. That for a while we imagine, we give a lot of attention and identity to the one that's waking up, because we're supposed to. That's in chapter 10, right? So then chapter 11, Cosmic Screenwriter says, okay, it's time to even be aware of that. It's time to be aware that you're not really doing anything, because like you can't. Everything that you do or think or everything that's already been written, you're like a puppet. Like, do you know you're a puppet? And so then it writes that the character's supposed to like realize that. I had a deep realization once. I did mushrooms several years ago. I was at the beach. I did them alone. I used to like to really do it alone in the beginning stages when I was doing plant medicine. I only did them in groups because I wanted to later, because I'm like, oh, how does it feel to do it in a group? That might be cool. And then that gave me that taste of camaraderie that I never had growing up, because everybody's, just talking nonsense. But at least in a more of a plant medicine circle, for the most part, the people are more, their deeper natures coming through. So that's why I like to do groups. I used to be in groups. I didn't want to do groups because I don't want to be responsible for the people who take medicine, because there's I don't know, 2%, 5% people, they go crazy sometimes. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want the karma. But I would get in trouble at the circles. I'd bring my right-hand man or right-hand girl, and then we would just kind of trip out together, and we wouldn't follow directions. So I had this realization once, though. I'm like, wait a minute, like everything's destiny. It's all my realizations that I'm having and that I'm gonna have and that I already did have, that was written in the script. I couldn't have those realizations beforehand. Oh yeah, but you were meditating, you were doing a spiritual practice. That's why you had the realization. No, you were doing the spiritual practice and the meditation because that was written in the script, because that's the form that your realization was gonna take. He's a good screenwriter. It's not that you just, realization. No, you gotta it makes you do stuff first that looks like it's paving the way to have a realization. So then you have the realization, and then it looks, everything's chronological. It's organized. You're doing this, and then you get the realization. But that was written in the script. And so I had that realization because it was written in the script for me to have it. And that's what I realized. At first, when I had a realization that everything is happening according to its own perfect timing of destiny. First, I had that. And then I applied that to all the downloads and the intuitive insights I would get. I'm like, damn, I can only have those when it's time to have those. And then, this is the best part, I realized, wait a minute, even figuring that out or realizing that was also written in the script. Huh. And then for me, I said, for me just to realize what I just said and say, huh, that's also written in the script. I kept playing with that for a while, but then you have to let that go. It's like it gets too much. And then you just flow. You're like, okay, it's cool. So that's why I like this analogy about we're all like characters in a book. We can't help it. We if it's written in the book that the character starts to become aware, whoa, I'm a character. It's not the character somehow broke away from the screenwriter's material and now it's running rogue and it realizes, whoa, I'm a character and the screenwriter wrote me, but now I'm free. I'm like, no. If he does think that, it's also because the screenwriter wrote it. This helps give a sense of let go-ness. Because you just realize I don't exist in the way that I thought I always used to think I do and that most people think they do. And it gives compassion to let the bots, people like that word, I like it too. The bots are supposed to be bots because it's written that they're supposed to be a bot. We're bots too, but we're at a further chapter in the book, see? The bots start to become self-realized or self-conscious. I remember somebody, this conspiracy, this guy was always just obsessed with conspiracy stuff and theories and maybe facts. I don't know. I don't care. That's the whole point. And he said, yeah, so here, look, this is what's going to happen. AI is going to take over. And then we're going to have to install a computer chip in our head, in our brain, so that then we can interface with the AI. I'm like, bro, we're already all AI interfacing with AI. What difference does it make? You got this particular AI and this other AI. We're all AI. The humans, yeah, we can create because it's written that we're supposed to create. We have some creative power because the cosmic source has endowed us with that. So we're able to make movies and art and also AI. I'm not going to turn this video into that, but I'm just saying. So we create, but that AI that we create, was a red ant. It's bad karma. I'll burn that off in meditations, no problem. Um, the AI that we create, it's not going to be at the same level of consciousness that the creator created when he created us. It's just laws of consciousness. They can be super mental, very, very sophisticated mentally, all right, but they don't have the intuition there. Yeah, I've said enough about that. I really don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't know, just because it's boring. Like, I'm not interested. So the more we realize that this show runs itself, that this character that we think we are, it's running, and it's flowing. We don't have to do anything. But we're going to do stuff. Cooperate with that too. See, when the mind tries to understand things, it messes things up, because the things we're talking about here are very paradoxical. The truth is paradoxical. That means it's yes and it's no, and it's both. Only intuitively can you assimilate that and then let that play out. If you're not able to do that yet, accept that, no problem. You keep watching videos and reading good books, and you be in an environment and atmosphere that activates your higher vibration. Then in time, when you get to that chapter, it's going to happen. In the meantime, it's written that the character like becomes impatient and he wants it right now. Yeah, accept that that's written, like you can't help it. When you accept that, I think it like allows you to accelerate more through the chapters. But then that was also written too. I mean, how are you going to talk about this stuff? It's fun. That's why I talk about it. All right, I'll see you guys soon.